opening up Photoshop, you'll notice that sometimes it does take a little bit of while because it's trying to load up all the brushes and all the characters and all the texts and all that good stuff like that. So just be patient with that. We'll create a new file. When we create a new file, we want to make sure we go to a custom file that we want to have. And then when we do our custom file, just make sure there's a couple different things. The width is going to be 8.5, the height is going to be 11, resolution can be at 300 or 72, depending on what we're trying to do. I always keep it on 300 just because I like to have all that resolution into my photos. Make sure that we change this to inches. Usually we use pixels, but today we're going to use inches because I want to make sure that everybody understands the concept of the width of the page. Okay, we're going to turn our page orientation. See how these different things right here, these say different things. This is a portrait and this is landscape. We're going today, because we're painting something, we're going to paint it in landscape. All right, make sure the background contents are white. You can see here, you can change it to black. I like using white because I like to see some of my colors and how they pop on the back of the white. So create, and there goes our canvas. So one thing that I'm doing right now is to be able to zoom in and zoom out. I'm holding a shift button. Let me open up my, so you can see what I'm saying. On my keyboard, I'm holding the shift button and I'm scrolling with my mouse. Holding shift and scrolling. And you see what that does. This makes the page go up and down when I hold shift and scroll with my mouse. I can also let it go and do it as well, depending on what type of mouse you have. Now, one of the biggest things I will tell you when zooming in and zooming out though, you gotta hold the Alt button, right? Alt Option button. This allows you to zoom in and zoom out on your page. Okay. All right. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to go to my brush tool. Over here in the tools bar, you go through these different sections. You look at and find out which one you want to know with the brush. Look through and you see that this is the brush tool. It will tell you this is what the brush tool does, painting on the background layers and all those good things. Now, I click on the brush tool. You notice that my brush tool is a circle here, right? And the crosshair is a brush. So what I want to do is I want to go into show you on my keyboard first. When I'm using my bracket tools, this tool and this tool, it allows my brush tool to get smaller or bigger. Okay. So using brackets, this is smaller, bigger. Okay. I'm going to do a test. So right now you see that this is my foreground color and this is my background color. So my foreground color, if I choose the brush, is a solid line, right? Now, always, if you're trying to do solid lines, make sure the opacity is 100%, the flow is 100%, and the smoothing can be different between what we're trying to do. Let's see, I'll show you what happens when I turn the opacity down. You notice that the color layer is a lot lighter than the first layer that I've drawn, right? Or colored. So also looking at some of the flow, notice when it goes in between certain colors, it gives me a darker color in that background. Okay. Let's mess with some of the flow, right? See, notice some of the different characteristics that it holds. So always make sure the opacity is up and the flow is always 100% as well. And then we can start mimicking certain things that we want to see. So say I want to just color this whole page right now. And this is my background layer. I can do a lot of different things with this tool. So just understanding some of the things that I have with the width and all these different brush effects. I'll usually just go in here and pick an effect that I want. I'll do something real special for you guys today. Let's go in, let's choose a color, a watercolor, like a blue like this, an offset blue. I want to go into a new layer, create a new layer, so it says layer 1. I name it the water layer. Water layer it is, right? So I'll go on here and click into my water, make sure my flow and my opacity is 100%, right? make me a little water layer so I can have like a water. From there, I can go into and click a beach layer. Go in here and change my color. A beachy color. Some sand. It usually be like a brownish. It's kind of some dark sand, but it's okay. We're used to dark sand. Right? Kind of a red sky. We'll change some of these things up. And then I'm just going to go over some of these things, kind of be a little bit quicker than normal. I can go back to my colors, go back to my blues, get some more light stuff in that blue, and go into my paintbrush. And on my paintbrush, I want to add an effect on that paintbrush. So let's get some concept as far as like some water effects. So you can see that if I'm scrolling, I can see some of my dry media brushes, my general brushes. If I click down, I can kind of see more things like my wet brush. I can go over here and do some concepts with this. And this is going to be cool. Watch this. So kind of gives like an effect of like coming up on shore. Yeah. Some more water, right? I can do the same thing on my beach. I can go on here on the beach and add some effects to it. Like this came up on shore. You know how it does some mixing. I can also go in and do something to my sky. Change some stuff on my sky, you know, as like a red sky. Very, very cool stuff in here in Photoshop. Just, you know, just mess with some things and see what some brushes do. You know, change different brushes, go to some concepts. You can go to the dry media brushes and do some stuff with that. You know, just change avenues and characteristics to what you see. I didn't really do anything, so I can go back to the wet or special brush, special effects, and some oils. And see how some of them don't really kind of like work well with what they're trying to do. It's basically telling me that because you don't have any mixing great colors, it's not going to do it, and I got to be able to put some type of concept to my stuff, so I can go back into my wet brushes or an effect brush or some oils, and you'll notice it's mixing colors. That's the biggest thing that, you know, just understanding that concept. You notice how it's doing something to my sky. See the media paintbrush that it does, and it's loading over the top of it. Right. It's kind of like making my sky look kind of, you know, mixing, you know, going back in there and adding like a layer, like a sun, give it some characteristics. Just little things like that. You can kind of